So I was just wondering, my mother, my sister, my aunt, and myself all have and have had fibroid tumors, and I was just wondering, how do we truly find out where this all started?
Wow, that is a very, very powerful question. In my book, The Wounded Womb, I speak about, are you a sister of African descent?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The thing about fibroid tumors, as I mentioned in my book, spiritually, the fibroid tumor is a keloiding. And we have Africans who know what a keloid is. When you get a deep cut or any kind of cut, the skin grows, but then it continues to grow over the cut until such time as you have this surplus skin. Well, it's a type of keloiding of the consciousness that centers itself in the womb. Let's start where it begins, because there's a lot of books out there. There's one book that I kind of attack or lambaste in my book called oh my goodness, I forgot what it is. Body and Soul, it was called, and the book Body and Soul was for women, and it was a book that told about health for women and so forth. And when they asked the question, it says as one of the titles of the section was, "What is?" It was bad English. What is fibroids? And then as you read there, and which really angered me, is as you read on, they didn't answer the question. They only gave you conjectures about what it is. Well, it is a damaging of the womb based upon the psyche, because remember, a woman's whole psyche, everything about her is centered around that womb. A lot of people now don't care about that. Feminism has caused women to not care about how delicate and how great an instrument of health that womb really is. So women are very haphazard about caring for the womb in this day and time. But that mentality that creates the condition for fibroids is based upon a damaging of the feminine ego. Let me say that again. It is a damaging of the feminine ego. Some great hurt or some great part of you that feels that you were either slighted, you were not given a chance to show who you were or do the things you really wanted to do. You had a persecution complex that you kept with you, and that begins to cause your thought process to register in that area. It is a feeling of suppression, a feeling as if you could not stretch to become the person you wanted to do, too much self-sacrificing, you were embarrassed to the point where you did not, everything about you, the shame, all of these things all dovetail into an energy that localizes itself in that womb. Of course, there are different peripherals to the emotions because a woman lives through that emotional signature that vibrates within the womb. So she predisposes fibroids by the way that as a girl she begins to be, is she accepted by her friends? What are her relationships with men? What are the conditions that she now faces psychologically that then defines whether she feels she's truly feels like she's a woman in what she's doing? She feels appreciated? No. But also, it is now supported by the stress that comes when you now have to do two jobs. That is the job of the man and the job of the woman. Women in Africa or in China, or women who are essentially women or who don't do the jobs or are stressing like the jobs of men, don't have fibroid tumor problems. Only women under stress to do more than a woman should be doing suffer this. And women who take on more work than the body that they have designed with them are supposed to do, like most of the women who are essentially throwing their bodies on the ground playing volleyball. One of the worst things I've ever seen is women who play volleyball, and when they go for that last shot, when they put their hands out, spread eagle themselves and fall flat on their wombs, on their stomachs.
That's right.
That is the insanity of what women are doing today. If the ancient women were to look and see what women do today, they would be mortified. Because the temple, the delicate temple, if a woman was to feel herself, just feel your skin. You always want to be soft and delicate and so forth. And then you want to go out and do hard and muscular things like men. Your body was not created to do certain things. There's a specific thing that the physical body of a man was supposed to do. That's why we were given denser muscles. That's why we were given testicles, because we were there made to have more stress, to be able to deal with more stress. Men are there to take stress away from women. When you take away men and you destroy men, or you create a condition where a man cannot be a man, then more stress is put on the woman. The more stress a woman has, the more the body chemistry changes in order to address that stress. What are these chemical changes? Well, instead of you creating more estrogen, the progesterone has to go through more androsteroids. In other words, to keep up with the stress. The muscles, in order to keep up with the stress, must create more masculine hormones. So this particular hormonal cauldron that's going on in women today, because they've been told they need to be equal and independent, they got to do for themselves. The society has completely ruined the family, ruined men, and ruined women. And guess who's benefiting? The doctors. They're cleaning up, because 85% of the people walking through hospitals and clinics are women. Thank you very much. So until women begin to stop being what they think they need to be, all they need to be in the army and the military, until they begin to launch a protest against the society itself for what they are being forced to do, and make the men responsible, have the men step up, have the men go find their testicles once again. Until that happens, fibroid tumors will be the purge and the scourge of the African community.
Wow.
And all that's in my book, The Wounded Womb. If you want the book, we'll tell you how to get that as well.
Okay. Thank you so much.